Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode in our Let's Play series. And today we're gonna have to solve a crisis that we have in this world. If I go to the nether, oh, you are very close to my face now. If we come over here, you can see we have a bunch of chassis here. And all these chassis are full of chokers of green dye. And if we go through this portal, we go here to the cactus farm where we use the XP to mine the pickaxes, because I mine a lot. And we have this product here of this farm that is a bunch of green dye. And as you can see, all this is also green dye. All these chassis, all these chassis are green dye. And some of them are cactus. Yeah, because sometimes we produce extra cactus chokers here when when the furnaces are already full and don't need any more of the cactus. It goes to this choker box loader. But yeah, the problem is we have a lot of green dye. So how do we get rid of this? Maybe we could just throw it in lava, but that's boring. But there is a good way to compact green dye. You know how you compact, for example, iron ingots into iron blocks? You can compact green dye too. So there is a way to compact 112 green dye or 112 items into 3 items. So first you use gunpowder to craft a firework star, and then you get this firework star and add more dye, and you craft a firework star with a fade color. And yes, the fade color is green, 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 green. And the funny thing about this is actually this is a dye dump. If you want, you can keep crafting. See, I can craft even more for some reason. I don't understand this, but yeah. And I think if I do craft this, it's gonna be the same, right? Yeah, so we can just dump all the green dye in a crafter and keep crafting this firework star over and over again. So it's like a green dye void. But we are not gonna do that. We're gonna craft firework. So see, I used to have a 56 green dye, 8 gunpowder in 1 paper, and we craft 3 fireworks. That means not 56 green dye. I used to have 112. That means if we get 112 chokers of green dye, which we have way more than that here, 8 chokers of gunpowder, which we have a lot because of the creeper farm, and 1 choker of paper, which is very easy to get to. We make 3 chokers of these fireworks here. Let's see how they look. Ouch. And then we just need to find a way to waste the fireworks. See? Instead of wasting dye, we can waste fireworks. So first step is to do auto crafter to automate this process of crafting the dye into firework stars, and then the firework stars with a fade color, and then those firework stars crafting to firework rockets. So yeah, let's do some headstone now. Okay, and we are here inside the pyramid where the camel lives. Remember the camel? It is the elemental of the compressed original matter. And now there is another secret here. If I go to the second page, it opens a door here. And I already started doing the auto crafter here. So let me try to explain. I started doing, it's not finished yet. I stopped this so I could explain what I have done so far. So here is a shulker box loader where we will have these fireworks here. And yeah, so this part is just for breaking the shulker. Whenever this is full, it will send a signal here, break the shulker, goes to this chest. This chest, we're gonna have chests and shulker shells to craft more empty shulkers. There is a dispenser below there. I can't see. Yeah, see? Dispenser that will dispense another shulker up here. And yeah, see, it's all very weird here. So this crafter is where we're gonna craft the fireworks. So we're gonna need 1 gunpowder, 1 paper, and 7 firework stars. And whenever this gets to level 9, it will power this to craft. Powering this dropper will power the crafter, and this dropper will insert another gunpowder here and another piece of paper, because this dust will power this dropper. So we have a hopper, we have a chest, shulker here with gunpowder, and a hopper pointing to this dropper to keep gunpowder in stock. And the paper one, we do have a hopper here and a barrel, and we have a crafter here that will craft sugarcane into paper. So all we are missing now is placing a shulker of sugarcane here on top of this hopper. And the auto crafter here it's that one, the same that we did the last episode for diorite and the site granite. So whenever this runs out of items, it lights up the torch here and powers the crafter. But yeah, I needed to bring the sugarcane here. So now you can see we have this crafter here that is what will craft the firework, and it will well, actually this crafter will craft the firework star, right? So here we will have the first firework star, and then we're gonna add the 8 more die to have the fade color, and then we need another crafter before this one to craft the first firework star. So it will be 8 green die plus 1 gunpowder. And yeah, that's what we need to do now. I hope you guys understood this explanation. It's a little bit harder to understand, but it's fine, you know, it's actually quite simple. Okay, so I finished the crafter. Looks cringe binge. So yeah, let's see if I can explain. So this part here, it will craft the firework star with 8 green die into the firework star that has the fade color. And this crafter crafts 1 gunpowder plus 8 green die into this kind of firework star here. So whenever this gets to level 9, it will power the crafter and the dropper at the same time to refuel a firework star here. So yeah, I think this will work. But there is one thing that I did here, is you can see that here we have 2 hoppers for green die, and up there I made 4, because we have to guarantee that this crafter runs out of green die before that one, because if that one runs out of green die, it will stop crafting these firework stars. And if we don't have firework stars here in the dropper, it won't add one here, so it will fill with a green dye. And then it will break the recipe. So basically, you have to make sure in every recipe here, you have to make sure that whatever you have in the dropper never runs out before the stuff you have in the hoppers runs out. Like for example, this is just for the paper, but the other crafter, where is it? Here. That we are crafting paper, gunpowder, and the firework stars. We have to make sure we run out of firework stars like we did here before we run out of gunpowder and paper. That's why I added two double chests of gunpowder here and two double chests of sugarcane to be crafted into paper, just to make sure we are not gonna run out of or that we are not gonna run out of gunpowder and paper before we run out of firework stars. So now if I start putting, oh, also I did a ladder here, so maybe I should use this so we can place it. Oh, there is a shrieker here. So you can place the green dye here, and here is the gunpowder, as you can see. And also I need to start placing. So you see this one is already working, as you can see. Now for this one to work, we need to place the green dye here. See? Now it's crafting the one with the fade, and this should be going to this here, and whenever we get a full crafter here, it will craft the fireworks here. Boom, there it goes, and then it goes inside the shulker here, and whenever the shulker is full, the shulker box loader will activate, as you can see. And yeah, we will get the shulkers here, and I already added a bunch of shulker shells and chests here to keep the shulker box loader on stock all the times. And here I have some extra sugarcane, gunpowder. I'm gonna bring some green dye here too. So yeah, slowly we will craft the green dye into these fireworks. And now we have to find something to do with these fireworks, you know, to explode them. And at first I was thinking about doing a 7-segment display, where instead of using lights as the numbers, we would have fireworks shooting as the numbers. And I tried a little bit with that, and it's a little bit weird, you know, because you need to space them out a lot. So one digit would be like 13 by 25 blocks, and yeah, it's a little bit rough to do. You would need a lot of space, which we could do inside the pyramid, for example. There is a lot of space, but I don't know if that's a good idea. I might go with something more simple, just place a bunch of dispensers here, and it would look like a snow globe, but with green snow. I don't know, I have to think about this. I don't know. The firework 7-segment display looks like it could be a good idea, but I don't know. Let me think about it and I'll come back with you guys in a second. Okay guys, I'm back here. And you know, sometimes you have a good idea and when you build it in Minecraft it doesn't work. So this is kind of the 7-segment display with fireworks, but there is a problem. Like right now, I still didn't set how to see which number it is, so it's set to be like the number 8, and I will activate this. And the problem is, like, I was gonna stand here to see, because then we can see all the numbers, but we can't see the fireworks from here. And even from like down here, we can't see the fireworks from those dispensers. See, it doesn't hinder. There is a hinder distance problem. I don't know if I crank this up to 500%, does this make any difference? Oh, it does. Okay. Can I see from... oh, I can see from here. Okay, so I can just crank up the hinder distance. Does that look like a 8? Yeah, the problem is the fireworks have some kind of momentum, so they are not centralized all the time. Yeah, so it's... But it kind of looks like an 8, right? Right? Doesn't that look like an 8? No, it doesn't. I don't know. If I put the powder snow on top of them, I don't think it's gonna make them go straight, right? Well... You know what? We are gonna keep doing this, and it's fine, you know? If you can't tell the numbers, it's a skill issue. That's what we're gonna go with. It's fine. I'm just gonna... Yeah, it's fine. I'm just gonna empty these rockets here. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. And I think there is only one more rocket. Yeah, so this is the idea. We're gonna have a clock probably faster than this, so we keep the numbers on all the time, powering the dispensers. And we're gonna have rails going on top of these hoppers to refill the dispensers. And we're gonna have to do some kind of circuit here to turn on and off the segments, right? So for example, now it's set to the number 8. If I turn this one down, is the 0, right? Because this is the center segment of the 7-segment display. And for example, if I turn this one off, and this, and this, and this, now it's the number 1, right? So yeah, now I'm gonna have to work on the logic for that. That's the next step. Okay guys, I'm back here, and here's the thing. Let's make a deal here. I made this, so right now, for example, we have a number 0 selected, which means only the center segment is off, and then we can select number 1 here. So I will show you guys that this works by activating this, and we're gonna come over here to see. Okay, see, that's the number 1, right? I guess we can see from down here, number 1. Now let's go to number 2. See, that's a number 2. Well, I guess we are kind of seeing it inverted here. I don't know. Number 3. See, that's the number 3. Now, number 4. I guess if I look at like this, it's gonna be easier to see. Number 4. Well. Number 5 now. See, it's a number 5. Number 6. It's fine. It's kind of number 6. It's because we should be looking from up top, not from here. But it's fine. You guys see that it works, right? There you go. That's a 7. Now number 8. See all the spacers. Number 8. Now number 9. Only this one is off. See, that's a 9. And finally number 0. See, that's a 0. So yeah, it works. Now here's the thing. We could do the same thing we did with the 7 segment display from the trial minigames. That is basically we have a loop of hoppers, and then we have a comparator here to select which number it is, and then we add we unpower the hoppers for 1 second to, or not 1 second, 1 tick, 2 ticks, whatever, to go to the next number, and it will go to the number. But yeah, here's the problem. The idea was to do that, right? To have a counter, not just a 7 segment display, but a counter that would count the days. We are at day 42,285. That's why we have here 5 of these 5 digits to count the days. But the problem is I would need the daylight sensor to count whenever it becomes day, so it adds 1. And the problem is I would need to chunk load the chunk that has that daylight sensor, but I would have to chunk load the whole headstone here, you know. So this would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 chunks I would have to chunk load to keep the day counter loaded. Or I could just leave like this and manually set the day whenever I want to display. But it's... what's the point, you know? I've proven, okay? I've proven that it works, okay? Let's select a number here. And only this is 6, okay? Let's show that number 6 works, okay? So it would be here, and you would see all the numbers. Oh, that's a 6, and here would be, or maybe I should select the number 5. Wait, it's gonna be number 6 day right now. Watch this. See? 42,286. So we would have 4, 2, 8, and that's a 6, you know? But I probably would have to make a way faster clock here. Let's see, maybe... maybe like this. Okay, maybe even faster. See, to keep the 6 going all the time there. Maybe even faster. See? Right, it works. That's my point. Except that we ran out of fireworks now. But the point, it works, okay? Yeah. But, oh, okay. But here's the thing, the fun part about this is over. That was figuring out how to do it. Now doing it over again 5 times and keeping 7 chunks loaded the whole time just to count the days. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And the next part to refill the hoppers would be just making a railway on top of the hoppers here, you know, going on top of all the hoppers to refill. So yeah, it's not fun anymore, this project, so I'm not gonna keep working on this. Instead, I'm gonna use the fireworks for something else. Like, I think it would be fun to use it in a mob farm to kill the mobs. So maybe we do that. But there is another issue here that is... I made this auto crafter for the fireworks. And it kind of works, but I have to come here all the time and refill the shulkers and all that. But also, it's very complicated to understand, I think, you know? I don't know if you guys understood when I explained this earlier. You know, it's still... crafting is still working, right? But there is a easier way to craft these, and also see I'm keeping 2 chunks loaded here because this was in a chunk border. Of course, I didn't think about this before starting making the crafter. So yeah, 2 more chunks loaded, but there is a easier way to auto craft this. Let me show you. Okay, we are here at spawn in the gold temple here. And a while ago I have done this auto crafter here. That is like a global auto crafter that you can set here. For example, if you want to craft the headstone torches, you could set this here, and then you would place a shulker of headstone dust and a shulker of sticks, and it would craft headstone torches. But here we want to craft the firework star, so we put 1 shulker of gunpowder. In this case, it doesn't really matter the order, and yeah, and then we place 8 shulkers of the green dye here, and 1 shulker of gunpowder, 8 shulkers of green dye, and then to start we press this button once. And it will craft firework stars. So yeah, eventually this will craft a shulker of firework stars. So we could have a bunch of those to craft a bunch of stuff, you know. We could chunk load, I don't know. Yeah, of course this is not entirely in a chunk. I should have built it 1 block off. It's fine, you know, but we could build this easily, you know. It's a very easy design. You can see it's just, you know, shulkers, hoppers pointing to these droppers, and then these hoppers going to the crafter here. We do need a 4-tick repeater here, because you see that when the items are coming through, it blinks the comparator, so we need these 4 ticks, and whenever it turns off, it powers this note block that powers this observer to power the block to craft the to craft the item there. And Also, it powers all these observers to power the droppers and send another item. And also you could have these observers and this block going underneath the hopper to be underneath the dropper to be a little bit more compact if you want to fit more of these in one chunk, you know. So yeah, this would be a better way to autocraft the green dye. Yeah, so I think this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to build one of these, and I'm gonna try to build this in the chunk that we already have a chunk loaded, the chunk with the furnaces and the green dye there. I think it will fit there. It's fine. We will try. Maybe it won't fit, but we can try to fit one of these there. It's a very simple design, like I showed you here. You can probably just copy this. You don't need the golds, by the way. The golds are not needed for the design. But yeah, let's try to build this there, and then we can autocraft there. And we're gonna autocraft one shulker of this, and then we can use the same autocrafter with 8 shulkers of green dye, and instead of 1 shulker of gunpowder, excuse me, we add a shulker of this to craft the firework star with all green, and then fade it to all green colors. And then we use it 7 shulkers of that, 1 shulker of paper, and 1 shulker of gunpowder to craft the fireworks. You know, so it's gonna be a little bit of a slower process, but it's fine. You know, it's gonna be fine. Okay guys, I'm here at the chunk that we have loaded to smelt cactus, so we get XP to repair pickaxes. And as you can see, I did one of those crafters that I just showed you, but this one is a little bit different to fitting inside here, but should work. So I have here 8 shulkers of green dye and 1 of gunpowder. Let's test this. There. Yeah, and you can see it's a little bit different. I'm powering the rails here because this one, it doesn't matter the order that the items enter in the crafter, so didn't care too much about making it dispense or drop it, activate the droppers one after the other. We are activating them kind of together. So if I press this button, it should start. Let's see. Oh, see? It's crafting. And it will craft a full shulker of this. And because it's loaded the chunk, it will keep crafting until it's done. And then we can come here and craft more stuff. There is still a lot of green dye here. This is cactus. Some more green dye here. And I believe there is more cactus here. Yeah. And more green dye here. And there is the green dye on the nether part. Actually, let me check if this portal is working, because I moved a little bit. Yeah. And there is a bunch of green dye here. So yeah, now we have to keep crafting a bunch of green dye. And then I have to figure out something to do with those fireworks. Okay guys, so I'm back here and I have covered all that. Oh, I still have to remove the big one. But yeah, I covered the hole here. If I... Yeah, you can see here the hole. It's fine, you know, if one day we need a big hole, we have a big hole here. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rockets, so I did this so we can build rockets here. There's some dispensers there, and we can do this. Right, yeah. That's something, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, you have an idea and it is just, it's fine, you know? I just wanna go mine, you know, I don't wanna use my brain anymore. Bye. See you guys in the next episode. Okay, so apparently I forgot to turn on Fabulous Graphics so you can see stuff behind the glass. And I'm running out of rockets. There we go. It's cool, right? Maybe. I don't know. Bye.